Morning, everyone. Without wasting any more time, we already delayed. I request Professor Manna, the Director IIT Kanpur, Professor Fani, Dean, Resources and Alumni. Then I ask Mr. Vinay Mehta and Mr. Surojit Singh to come over to the dais. So I request Mr. Vinay Mehta to start the proceedings.
Good morning, everyone. We'll start with remembering some of our batchmates who are no longer with us, and we'll also minute silence for them. I'll call out the names. Mr. Ajit Vishwanath Ranade, Anil Agarwal, Anwar Ali, Ashok Raj Kumar Shukla, Harsh Seoni, Manar Lal Shah, Manohar Sakaram Dandekar, Narendra Tadani, Pawan Nagpal, Pradeep Bhargav, Pramod Bahel, Ramesh Natarajan, Vijay Kumar Bansal, and Vinod Jua. We miss them. We should remember them. May they hold this one.
Okay, we will begin today's program by lighting of the lamp. like to welcome Professor Manna, Director IT Kanpur, Professor Funny, Dean Resources and Alumni, Mr. Vinay Mehta and Mr. Surjit Sen, who are the batch coordinators of the batch of 1965. So I welcome all of you to this reunion of the batch of 1965, the Golden Jubilee reunion. Actually here today there should have been the Secretary, Professor Kripa Shankar, who should have been addressing you, but he had to go away out of station. So I am sort of doing his job today. So let me just briefly introduce myself. I am Sandeep Sangal. I was also an alumni from here. It was a batch of 1977 or the class of 1982. And now I am here at IIT Kanpur as a faculty in the Department of Material Science and Engineering, which all of you would have known when you were here as a Department of Metallurgical Engineering. I'm not going to bore you with a long speech, and I'm not going to waste any time, because we'll hurry up with the formal proceedings. But you have this program laid out in front of you today and tomorrow, which will take you through memory lane. Some of you may have been visiting regularly, while some of you may have been coming after a long time. So you will see a lot of changes that have taken place here at IIT Kanpur in various ways. But of course, one of the noticeable things that you will see when you go on a tour of the campus would be the buildings. The buildings when you were here, and the buildings that today there's a very big difference, and the difference is very clear that your batch had a batch strength of the order of 200 plus. Today, the undergraduate batch that comes in every year is 800 plus. So that itself, the number of hostels have just doubled as what was the situation then. And of course, a lot of other activities have also increased proportionately, student activities. And of course, academics have made a tremendous change, which maybe Professor Manna may allude to in his address. With just these few words, I would now like to invite the director, IIT Kanpur, to felicitate the alumni and their families.
The spouse.
Ajit Vishwanath Dongre. Akhilesh Rai. Over here? Yeah. Anil Kumar Binani. Anil Kumar Jha. Anil Kumar Agarwal. Anil Kumar Singh. Please. Anup Krishna Mathur. Anup Swaroop. Ashi Malik. Ashok Kumar Singh. Ashok Kumar Tandon. Atamveer Singh Rao.
Where is the time?
Atul Kumar Jain. Avinash Giri.
At last.
Vijay Nath Jain. Chandramohan Puri. Dhaval Balakrishna Movie. Girish Singh Gaur. Gopal Singh.
Turn around, turn around.
Ish Su. Krishna Mohan Pant. Mahesh Anand. Munishwar Prasad. Narendra Kumar Ambani. Peter Menendez. Pradeep Kumar.
Close it.
Pradeep Kumar Mittal. Pradeep Kumar Sharma. Pramod Kumar Pramod Kumar Kyal. Prem Kapoor. Steve Warren Mitchell. Sunil Kumar Sabharwal. Surajit Sen. Vijay Kumar Paul.
Yes,
Vijay?
I don't believe.
Yogesh Lal. Ram Mohan Aditya. Krishnan Chandra Mishra. Ramesh Chandra Batra. Jagannath Sen Gupta. Kiran Kumar Jagati. Tejinder Singh.
इसको आती है सवाई 2 मिनट
Vinay Aditya.
A very good morning and a very warm welcome to all of you, particularly the spouses who have joined our illustrious alumni. The institute, like ours, would always treasure the biggest achievements as trophies. And the alumni are the biggest trophy that an institute can be proud of. And you are the second batch. You certainly were the ones who began the journey way back. This institute already is 56 years old. 1959, 2nd October, IIT Kanpur was registered as a society. And recently we have started celebrating 2nd November as our foundation day. And on this foundation, every foundation day, we honor the distinguished alumni. We also honor those who have made a difference to IIT Kanpur by decorating them as fellows of the institute. We invite a few of the faculty members, former faculty members, who everybody can immediately identify and love to see. We invite them, they come and impress. We have a few other things also for that particular day. But this institute has a glorious tradition of celebrating the achievements of our alumni by inviting them as 50th anniversary of their graduation, or 35th, or 25th, and so on. So when I took over, I thought there could be one alumni reunion, but then I saw a series of alumni reunions. So I asked the Secretary of Alumni Association that, what is this about? They said, the batches want to come back at regular interval. I said, that's fine. But then at that point of time, we haven't completed 50 years of the first batch who graduated. They said, sir, actually they're very keen, so we celebrate two types of 50th year. One is when they enter, and then they graduate. And there was also another big justification given as to why it should be counted from the year of entry, because the year of exit can be a little bit embarrassing again. As I said, we have come a long way off, and there was a time when you were students here, and even many years after that, until recently, for any young mind in the country aspiring to be an engineer, there was no doubt where one would like to go to. Because IIT Kanpur obviously was at the top of the ladder. Many years have passed by. We certainly have reasons to feel proud of our pristine glory, but we cannot say with the same confidence that we continue to be the #1 or the top engineering school in the country. This is a reality which is sort of a bitter pill, but we must admit and take sufficient action to regain our vantage position. Now, as director of the institute, I would like to assure you that everyone associated with IIT Kanpur now realizes that either we have slipped or others have overtaken us. And we must make a correction to that. If you ask me, compared to 1959 or 1965 when you graduated, if you go by sheer numbers, you'll realize where lies the difference. Today we are a 6,500 student community compared to barely a few hundreds in your time. The total faculty strength is more than the number of students we used to admit in the initial years. Now we stand at 412. About 580 to 600 staff members, about over 3,000 contract employees, and there are many more who are on certain project assignments. The community that live in the campus is now over 12,000. By virtue of being the director of the institute, I also happen to be the mayor of the small township, which spreads over 1,050 acres. We manage our own water, sewage disposal, air quality, electricity distribution, safety, security, and almost everything that is needed to run the campus. In order to live up to our expectation to regain our top spot, if you ask me what are the biggest challenges, I would not mention faculty or student as number one priority. Today, the number one priority is infrastructure. The way IIT Kanpur was set up, I'm sure none of you ever bothered to inquire or examine these facts. But if I tell you the truth, you would realize how obvious that is. The total floor area available in the institute, in the academic area, to the total ground coverage that we have, the ratio is only 2:1. So in effect, we are talking about the entire academic campus as if it is only two-story building. If I have another alumni reunion happening parallelly, I won't be able to accommodate all of you here. The guest house has 70 to 80 capacity. We are at 412 faculty members by virtue of the Government of India stipulation with 6,500 students. Right today we can have 650 faculty members. So there's roughly about 250 vacancies. Even if 20% of them, 50 of them arrive right tomorrow, leave alone giving them space for their laboratory, their students, their hostels, I won't be able to give them their offices. Now, you should also realize that until 2002, the beginning of the 10th plan period, the country didn't have enough money. In the last 10 or 15 years, we have seen a reasonable growth of our economy. At one point, we were eyeing at double-digit GDP growth per year. Going sheerly by number, we are a over $2 trillion economy, 10th and possibly third in terms of purchase power parity. We launched and we pursued the ambitious projects of lunar mission, Mars mission. We are a nuclear harnessing state. We have many other things to be proud of. On the other hand, the stark reality is that 1/5 of the population is below poverty line. The country faces many major engineering challenges, which includes safety in life, good potable quality drinking water, shelter over the head of many, and obviously security and safety issues. We as a premier technological institution, who is 85% funded by Government of India, we owe a few things to this society. Now time has come, apart from pursuing research and teaching, which are the main mandates of an institution like ours, time has come when we also have to create certain solutions to the society for which the entire nation will bless us. Recently, some interesting developments took place. By recently, I would first recount that about a year and a half ago, when the new minister took over the Human Resource Ministry, she invited all of us to a retreat in Goa, and we brainstormed about the major issues in front of the society, in the education and research domain, of course. Taking cue from that, the visitor to the IIT system, the president of the country, invited all the IITs for the first time in the history to Rashtrapati Bhavan on 22nd August 2014 for a day-long deliberation where all 16 IITs, until then we stood at 16, now we are already 18 and very soon we'll be 21, and there's no guarantee that we'll stand at 21. But that's a different issue altogether. So Rashtrapati ji invited all of us. We presented each one of us about our own IIT. And then in the afternoon, there was a thematic session on which we spoke on major issues faced by the country. And I, on behalf of a group of directors, presented something called technology domains, trying to spell out the major technological issues in front of the country. Subsequently, I had an opportunity of interacting with the National Academy of Engineering USA, and we deliberated upon what in US is known as grand challenges. In fact, now those 14 major challenges are also considered as global grand challenges. The US counterparts were very keen that we pursue similar grand challenges. Ministry created a committee, and incidentally, they made IIT Kanpur as a coordinator. So I had to take the responsibility through months of deliberation. On 5th of November this year, just this very month, we launched a national program called Impacting Research, Innovation and Technology, acronymed IMPRINT. This is sort of counterpart to the global grand challenges, but we decided to adopt a slightly different approach. We said the country is not comparable to the developed nations like US, Germany, or Canada, or so on. We decided that we first try and identify the problems, because a problem defined is half the problem solved. So we defined 10 technology domains, and then subdivided each one of them into themes, each theme into targets, each target into topics. So we presented that there could be about 1 million engineering challenges to be addressed by the nation in the near future. The number certainly is daunting, but when you consider the denominator, then it's certainly achievable. So the highest leadership of the country, President and Prime Minister, launched this program, IMPRINT, where we presented under one single slogan, million challenges, billion minds. The Prime Minister certainly was fairly impressed, and he, after the launch, certainly implored upon all of us that this is time that the IIT system should deliver. Not that we haven't delivered, but we primarily confined ourselves to either of the two sides of the knowledge domain. Either we taught, we disseminated knowledge, or we tried to create by research. But now is the time when we need to translate knowledge into real-time solutions. So this translational activity, by virtue of which we actually could create millions of jobs and offer solutions to many challenges faced by the country, is what is exactly needed. But you know, recently, I mean, many a times you would also be probably reading in the newspaper, starting from the visitor to IITs to every citizen of the country, often lament that you claim you're so great, the IITs, but you don't feature in the top 100 institutions in the world. I countered by saying that we, as a set of institutions, originate from one single act, IIT Act 1961. We are funded by the same source. We take students through the same examination, and we are governed by a single IIT council. So we should be considered as a group of institutions together. And if you take the 5 older IITs as a group of institutions together, then even today we would rank within definitely top 100, and some journal actually projected us as 61st in the world. But leaving aside those arguments, there's another very major claim which is often ignored. Many people believe that IITs haven't solved problems or created jobs. That's wrong. I read an article published by a journal in US which ranks IITs as the 4th most prominent school of engineering who have created maximum number of jobs as entrepreneurs. 4th after Stanford, MIT, University of California group, and then IITs. But the reality is that majority of those jobs are created offshore, the West Coast or somewhere else. Not so many within the country. But these are the hard questions we have to ask ourselves as to why this has not happened so far. There's no doubt, there's no question about 3 things that the IITs have maintained over the years. Number 1, the quality of engineering education. If you have to cite the best syllabi, the best curriculum, the best mode of teaching in the country in engineering domain, nobody would question that the IITs are the ones who actually have created and maintained over the years. Number 2, about the quality of research conducted in the engineering and technology domain. Going by whatever index you take, impact factor or citation or quality and usability, obviously in engineering domain, IITs created the best possible new knowledge in engineering. And number 3, the products of IITs, you. There's no doubt that the alumni of IITs certainly would rank well above the other crop of students created by other institutions. But yet, the reality is that we are not considered the same vehicle of transformation as US thinks of Stanford and MIT. And having already covered 55 years of our glorious existence, this is exactly why I said that time has come when we have to take a deep breath and ask ourselves as to what is next. So, I didn't want to make the atmosphere very serious. I actually wanted to be honest with you. And I want to tell you that this institute, in the last couple of years, has taken a number of proactive and positive steps. You know, this institution today has, when I joined just about a little over 3 years ago, I realized that IIT Kanpur, for whatever reasons, maintains the slimmest structure in terms of number of faculty, number of students, number of departments, number of projects, and most alarmingly, number of the quantum of output. There was a time when per capita output from this institution any day would be far better than any other institution. So today when I look around, yesterday I spent the whole day interacting with Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, which I think you are aware that BHEL is the largest public sector undertaking in manufacturing sector, primarily in the electrical domain. Employs over 40,000 employees and has about half a dozen units throughout the country. And they are the ones who actually have installed power generation units throughout the globe. And the managing director addressed, the director technical addressed, and then one of their officials projected number of projects they are currently pursuing with various institutions in the country. In the whole list, to my greatest anguish, IIT Kanpur didn't feature even once. 50% of our faculty today do not have sponsored projects. There are dozens of professors who haven't guided a single PhD until now. So the institute must go through a course correction. And that's the bitter pill we have to swallow. Now, why am I sharing all this with you? Because besides being the biggest trophy for the institute, you're also the most important guardians of the institute. By virtue of being alumnus of this great institution, each one of you actually has every right to ask certain questions, no matter whether it's difficult or embarrassing or disturbing, to the head of the institution as to why my alma mater is not featuring in the top bracket. And if you ask me that question, you will strengthen my hands to make that course correction that I'm talking about. You know, there are two things in life about which we as individuals have very little choice. Parents, number one. A child has no choice about who will be the parent. Same thing is about alma mater. Once you are a graduate of this institution, you like or not, institute likes you or not, you remain an alumnus. And you retain your right to ask for the best from this institution. So the alumni group, besides certainly being benevolent and helping us in raising funds to pursue one of the biggest challenges that we are facing today in terms of infrastructure, the alumni can also help us in providing very important guidance, because all of you by now would have served in the top institutions, organizations, would have created extraordinary examples of innovation and leadership, would have definitely seen extraordinary changes over a period of time. Which you can certainly borrow from your experience, and most importantly, your well-wishes. That's the biggest asset that we would like to harness. We have made a few changes in between. We have added a new department. We are reviewing all the interdisciplinary programs, which in my opinion, at some point of time, certainly serve the purpose. When we talk of the glorious past of IIT Kanpur, there are a few things immediately people would refer to. One is Kanpur Indo-American program. There's no doubt that one single program for 10 years changed the face of the institute and left an indelible mark, which is recounted even today with pride. The glorious faculty members who served this institute and created generations of excellent set of alumni. But then India in 50s and India in 2015 obviously is a very, very different picture. Aspirations have gone up. Every single citizen today has access to information. And by law, they can actually ask us, what are you doing with the money that I pay to you and your salary by way of the tax that I pay to the government? we are answerable. So to come back to the core issue, I personally believe that the alumni group like yours should once in a while look at our website, which is what we tried to revamp, but still I'm not too happy with it. But certainly is a lot better than what it used to be. We have created offices. By the way, I should share with you, I'm sure all of you would hail this, your batchmate, Mr. Ramon, is helping us in an initiative called Technology Development Initiative, which is very much related to what I was talking about, translation of research. There are many innovations which have only been published or talked about or even patented, but hasn't seen the light of application or translation. So we have created an initiative where Mr. Ramon and an office around him would try to connect to industry or stakeholders so that those innovations can be translated. We are in the process of creating something called information cell, not the old PRO model, because in today's world, information flow has to be reversible. While we should market ourselves with the recent developments that have taken place in the institute, starting from individual discovery by an individual to group efforts, and so on. At the same time, there should be a mechanism to feed the faculty members, the researchers, the scholars, the students about the innovation and changes taking place in the rest of the world. Even about funding opportunities, about new projects being undertaken. We also would like to revamp our placement cell, which is run in an institution like ours, primarily through voluntary service. We are proud of that, but we must admit this is a model which could have functioned well in 30 years ago, but no longer. We have to have professional health inputs. So we have created at least one new department in the recent past in earth sciences. Strangely enough, this group, which has a very major role to play today, if you consider atmosphere as an important component for our safety and well-being, used to be just a unit within civil engineering. So we have now allowed them to graduate into a full-fledged department, and the department is doing very well. All the interdisciplinary programs in the institute need to be reviewed, and we have to take a hard call whether we should go ahead and convert them into a department. I was referring to the glorious past and mentioned about KIAP and a few other things. Let me also mention, we have every reason and right to take pride in saying that IIT Kanpur gave computer science as a discipline to this country, which was created through an interdisciplinary program under electrical engineering. While we talk of computer science with great gusto, we fail to realize that material science as an interdisciplinary discipline was also created in this very institute through the great efforts of the doyens like E.C. Subbarao, C.N.R. Rao, Dipankar Chakravarti, Deska, and many others. So, institute is aware that we have to make certain changes and we have to take decisions which are not necessarily going to be very pleasant. So I had to, in the lighter vein at times, share with my colleagues that this job mandates me to be not pursue a path of being very popular. So if need arises, I have to accept being unpopular. But I think there is no us and they. If we all owe our allegiance to this great institution, if we all remain loyal, like we are loyal to our parents, if we all are loyal to our alma mater, then we should all pledge ourselves to one single ambition, and that should be IIT Kanpur should be the topmost school in the country. And when we pursue that, I would repeat, there is no us and they. We are all on the same side. So I won't take any longer. I would end saying that the whole institute is immensely proud of your achievements and certainly are very happy that you have come and you are spending a few days with us. There may be certain levels of discomfort or I don't know what is the level of hospitality we are able to offer to you, but if there is any slip anywhere, I would seek your apology. And the whole institute would like to see you happy roaming around and visiting your classroom or hostel room or wherever you wish to go to. And if you're bold enough, you can even take your spouse and show the room where you live and share your excellent moments. Please visit the departments and interact with your whoever is present there. I would also like to emphasize that while I might have given you certain facts and figures which are not very, so to say, points of celebration, but there are issues which actually had never happened before, but now has happened. For example, for entire history of IITs, IIT Kanpur always was topmost in academics, was never the champion of inter-IIT sports meet. IIT Kanpur emerged for 2 successive years the general champion of inter-IIT sports. And our young friends say that they're pretty confident that they're going to make it 3 in a row. So let us wish them all the luck. IIT Kanpur still, like all these years, is the home of brilliant minds. If you talk to individuals, if you talk to an individual student or a faculty member, you definitely will be convinced that they are individually brilliant people. What perhaps is missing is a synergy. And that's exactly what we are trying to find out as to how we can make the whole thing, whole place, a happening place by virtue of striking that chord, creating that synergy. It will happen. It certainly will happen. And we need your blessings. We need your active support for that. And wherever you are, please remain connected. Please send us your, apart from blessings and good wishes, your constructive suggestions, even criticisms. If I personally am not able to answer immediately, leave a copy with the Dean of Resources and Alumni. We certainly would like to extract the best of those and utilize. So let me wish you all a very pleasant stay here and a very pleasant memory that you can carry home. And let's look forward to continuing our journey together. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Manna. Now I request Mr. Surajit Singh to say a few words to the audience.
Professor Manna, Professor Fani, and Professor Sagar, thank you very much indeed for inviting us. You have given a very detailed resume report as well as activities which the IIT is doing. And what I heard from you and what we had experienced in our time was that whilst we had tremendous infrastructure for academics comparatively to other institutes, the sports facilities were pretty pathetic. So our sports standards are very low. And what you said right now really re-emphasizes that once you build up this infrastructure, the standard goes up. Now we are number one in sports, but we have come down in academics. So I guess this accent should continue, the infrastructure building. And alumni at our stage has one advantage. We have a lot of time in our hand right now. So while we would of course try to do for the institute, but I would urge you to also force a few of us who are pretty lazy to push and get things done out of us. And certainly there is wealth of knowledge, experience. Ram is doing work here, Atamvi has been doing here. B.N. Jain has wealth of experience. He can, compare institutes, get a checklist done, what lacks here. And certainly, we feel that once you take up this challenge, nothing is insurmountable. And I would take this opportunity to thank the Institute, thank all our friends out here, and I was really impressed that everyone came here on time. In fact, the director was a bit late.
No, I want to make a correction. I arrived at 9 o'clock sharp.
No, I vote for that.
Fine, so we take the words. And thanks everyone for, getting a lovely time for us, and we hope to interact further and take up the serious matters in the next day and a half and come out with some concrete suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sen. Professor Fani, Dean Resources and Alumni, he wanted to have an interaction session with you. So I think he would describe this as to what kind of a session he would like to have with you. So Professor Fani.
Welcome to IIT Kanpur and Kanpur along with it. Let me introduce myself. I'm unfortunately not an alumnus, and I am from the management department, and I teach finance, and I took over the door office about 3-4 months back. So I was earlier the innovation guy in this campus. That is, the entrepreneurship and innovation, the whole ecosystem which we have built up was, I was a part of that. And they moved me to Dora, and it was a great place, and I keep interacting with our alumni on a regular basis, and I try to move the Dora office to the next level, trying to. And you also understand the importance of this office right now, given the kind of mandate Professor Manna has in mind. See, he was the one who coined the word Dora. It was earlier Dean Resources Planning and Generation. Earlier it was something else. Now it is Dean of Resources and Alumnus. He says that this office also has to connect with the alumnus and be the focal point and be the one-stop kind of an interactive with the interaction with the alumnus. Now, given this and mandate, given that resources have become a critical component right now in terms of building infrastructure or in terms of encouraging excellence in students, faculty, and all that. What we have, I'll just share this with you, and then you can come back to me over lunches, dinners, and whenever you have ideas, and talk back to me on this and how we can take this forward. What we have decided, and we are basically, I am from management, so we keep on putting some jargon, we keep on putting some models in place and try to implement it. So, what we devise is the first thing is that the definition of what IIT Kanpur is. We said that the first thing we should look at is IIT Kanpur is not these 1,050 acres with this infrastructure. IIT Kanpur is an ecosystem which is all over the world, which is represented by our alumnus in terms of their achievements, in terms of their interaction, because our reputation as an institution depends on how well our alumnus have achieved in the world. And similarly, the alumni also in some sense feed off what we create over here, year on year, given the kind of quality. So we first said that, okay, let us not call it an institution which is within this physical confines, let us call it an ecosystem. Now within this ecosystem now, everybody is responsible. As I said, that every one of us is individually and collectively responsible for the well-being of this institution. And as he has also indicated that there has been some level of discomfort, some level of, in terms of quality, some decrease in the level of quality. But on the other hand, he also suggested that we are overburdened and overloaded in terms of, because we have to have 650 faculty and we are only 450, we take up a lot of load on ourselves to, cater to this whole administration as well as teaching and research. So it is a kind of a yin and yang kind of a thing. So within this IIT Kanpur ecosystem, we said that we will now, it's only 3 months now, we have started putting things in place. Many of you might have also felt that there is a simple disconnect in terms of IIT Kanpur's relationship with its alumnus. Some might have felt, some have expressed it, some have expressed their anger, their frustration, and some have been very happy with it. So we try to take all this, and then we said, let us go with the three-dimensional approach in terms of alumni, or this office's engagement in terms of resources and alumni. The first dimension what we have, I'm just sharing, what we have come up with is that in the first 20 years or 15 years of their life after leaving this place, our responsibility as an institution does not end the day you graduate. Our responsibility is carried out for the next 15-20 years, how we can assist you, assist the alumnus in giving them a career advantage in their career opportunities, in terms of helping them out, networking them, giving them the networking benefits of IIT Kanpur, and so on and so forth. So towards that, we are trying to create a mechanism wherein this whole networking can happen at an official level, where IIT Kanpur plays a critical role in enhancing and engaging alumni within themselves, so that they can have a better career path than normally available. Secondly, we also said that the second point is that we wanted to have a continuous engagement. Like he said, it's not just, it's about any kind of, even if you are coming for an hour to talk to our students or giving them some mentorship, still it is a great contribution. So we want to create a mechanism wherein we have a continuous engagement back and forth, the two-way flow of the information which you have said, wherein we can continuously talk to you, take your advice, keep that in mind, given our constraints, what we can implement, what we cannot, and all this we would like to have a continuous engagement with the alumni. And the third component, which is also very critical, is the resource generation part, where we would like to disassociate it with alumnus. That means that it is not that alumnus cannot contribute. What we are saying is that we should also approach people, and the alumnus can help us approach people outside the system who will be willing to provide us enough resources and encourage us in taking it to the next level. So this is the kind of engagement we want to pursue with current whatever we have. And within this system, now you can ask me about how can we implement this? How do we want to go about doing this? Predominantly, we are trying to go with the, in a sense, using the information technology and going on the social media platforms or continuing, like he has invited you to engage with us and come and visit our website. So maybe in a day or two, you might receive a mail from us listing what kind of engagement you would like to receive. Bullet point list, which you can have a checklist, and then only that component of information will reach you, whether you want it a monthly, weekly, quarterly kind of a thing, and whether you can. So this kind of intervention through IT, we are trying to make it so that you can you can be continuously engaged with IIT Kanpur without we actually disrupting or imposing our thing on you. That is, it should be a hassle-free engagement. It cannot be like I have 200 mails, out of which 50 mails come from with different information from IIT Kanpur, which you would like to have. So we want to keep the engagement at that level, at your comfort level, and then try to make the best of it. This is the current DORA's philosophy in terms of taking this whole initiative forward, and also in line with the mandate set by the director to us. With this, I thank you again for listening patiently and welcome any suggestions if you have free time, whenever you have some time to interact. Thank you very much.
So with this, we come to the close of this program. I would like to thank the director, Dora, and all the entire batch of 1965 who have come here and with their families. And I'm sure that one of the sessions that you're going to have with the students, and the students would benefit with the interaction that we will have with you later on, just after lunch. And I would like to thank the entire staff of the alumni office for organizing this program for its smooth running. So thank you. And just immediately outside the auditorium, we have a group photograph followed by tea. Thank you.
Before we disperse, I just would like to make a request to you all, precious alumni. You are going to be here, I think, until today, tomorrow? Today afternoon, of course, we are going to meet again with the director salon for lunch. Before you actually leave the campus, I would request all of you to just collect your thoughts and then give us a summary of your suggestions in not necessarily a very serial or logical order. Could be random, but just very well thought suggestions, whatever you see around. It could be as trivial as the flush didn't work in the toilet to something major that you would like to see as a change in this institute in terms of infrastructure, atmosphere, or so any intervention that you can think of. Instead of writing separate mails later on, which you could always do, it is a better idea that you all spend some time together over a cup of tea and then collect your thoughts and then pass it on through your batch coordinator to us. Another point is what Dr. Fani mentioned. Though he's from management and also happens to be a professor of finance, he was, I think, a bit shy today, didn't talk much about the fundraising drives that the institute is going to launch on. So we'll soon be writing to all the alumni, listing out specific projects where we would welcome contribution, not necessarily in millions, even in small denomination, because every bit counts. And we certainly would acknowledge all those contributions. But what are the projects? I mean, it could be something very simple. For example, you'd like to see the classroom that you used to attend in your days, to name it after your parent, or the lecture hall, or maybe the library room, or maybe the hostel common room. So various naming opportunities. Then certain, there are many other ideas which we are actually in the process of putting together and then advertising before the entire alumni community. So if opportunity comes, Fani, maybe you can just flag off some of those issues. The only constraint is that after the lunch, today I have to rush back to the office because we have a very important issue. We are in the process of selecting the next Dean of Faculty Affairs. And you know, in IIT Kanpur, we are a very distinctly different institution compared to many other universities or even IITs in this country. This is the only IIT which is run primarily through the dean's offices, not through registrar or deputy registrars and so on. And Dean of Faculty Affairs, of course, is a very, very important office. So I'll be busy and engaged with that the whole day, but certainly I would love to come and join you for lunch. And then tomorrow again I'll be on another very important travel. So I may not be able to spend a lot of time with you, that's my loss, and I apologize for that. But while you are here, please enjoy the stay and also collect your thoughts and then pass on the rest. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Vinay, hello. Vinay suggested few photographs. Hello. One, as we asked, because people have sat down. Okay. Good idea. One will be with the spouse or partner sitting next to the guy. Already sitting here. And the third is only batchmate.
And then one OD spouse.
अरेंज करवा लेते हैं तो 2 मिनट और दे दो
इंटेंट तो नहीं है इस साइड वजन ज्यादा है
गौतम गौतम हाँ so everyone ready please cheese time
सरदार पीछे बैठा हुआ मेरे को सरदार
वाले आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे बाहर वाले आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे बाहर वाले नहीं आ रहे इसके वाले देखो आउटलायर
ठीक शुक्ला जी हो गया
Everybody smile. Okay.
एक मिनट
हम लोग खुद मैडम पीछे आ जाइए थोड़ा
Shall I smile?
Cheese guys.
Candid camera.
बजाने से क्या होगा?
ओके
ये ले रहे हैं नो स्पाउस पार्टनर तेरा लास्ट रो
सर
नियर द बैक नो स्पाउस पार्टनर थैंक यू भाई चलिए राम you need to decide
Go on the back row.
who's the chap today here
Come on guys.
एक मिनट please just hold on
Back row.
please let everyone settle down let us
Simon.
yeah.
Get into the
I think
हमारे कभी खाना बंद होगा अभी तो ब्रेकफास्ट किया है अभी लंच पे जा रहे हैं अभी लंच पे चले जाएंगे
डब्बा पड़ा
बंदे शायद आपकी समय में भी So these are the several laboratories. Several laboratories, and this is our shopping complex. Present shopping complex.
Red Rose, where is Red Rose?
So it is here.
Red Rose is there.
It was called Red Rose. We now call it Campus Restaurant. We'll be going inside. Yes, ma'am. We are going inside the academic area. The first thing that we see So left में वो कैसी campus है वो उसके right में computer science and beside it is the CSE computer science.
Library left hand side.
Department भी नहीं था department के साथ
जो लंबी अभी 1000 एकड़ में यहाँ पर 6500 स्टूडेंट है यहाँ की जो फीस है दिखा देते हैं तो ज़्यादातर से कोई है यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स की सैलरी ज़्यादा लगती है वहाँ से
ये हमारी लगती है
लवली में रोगी लगती है
वैसे सही बताएं साइड अगर चले जाओ हाँ तो बिल्डिंग लेके आए
So both the faculty building the same. Registrar's office is above.
खोले खींचे
खोल वो उनको चेहरे से उनको ये कि अब ये वीडियो देखेंगे कि ये यार मेरा वो लाइब्रेरी है ये बाकी तो वैसे तो मिल ही जाता है बस ठीक है बाकी इधर डाल दो
स्टोर का है जहाँ से हम बुक्स खरीदा करते थे रेड रोज बचा रहे बेटा स्वेटर पहन के
निकाल दिया गया वो बैंक को खाओ कोई नहीं मेरे अकाउंट में डाल दो लाइब्रेरी इज गेटिंग रेनोवेटेड दिस ईयर
दिखा दें इससे नीचे से ऊपर Oh, there you are. Let me focus over there.
Revamping cost us something like close to 6 lakh rupees, but in terms of energy savings, it's almost like 5 lakh rupees a year. So we are actually recovering in the first year. We are also going to modernize this entire place, and we are going completely digital from this year. So physical holdings are only of textbooks. All journals, everything are going to be online under the scheme. And whatever books though that are not been issued at even once in the last 10 years, they are now going into a new compact storage facility which has now been initiated in the basement of this library. So I can take you there if you are willing to come and you're not.
We will see our textbooks.
Yeah, you will see maybe the
Resnick and Halliday.
maybe you will see the those are still being issued.
don't remind
Classics don't.
Don't remind Resnick and Halliday. That was a nightmare. And Dr. Parasi is to add to that.
Classics don't change that easily. Incidentally, I'm not your librarian, I'm just a professor in charge. We are in transition, so the librarian is not there right now.
That's better.
Very soon we'll get.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
And
much.
our textbook section, which you probably frequented most, is also going to change from the ground floor to the first floor. So maybe when you come for your next reunion, you will find that right now we're in transition, but at that time we would have bleached our.
We had a lot of books. Apart from science and technology or arts,
We still
or
have.
music or films.
We still have.
Humanities.
We still have.
Yeah, yeah.
We still have.
And that was the best part of the library, I would
We
say.
still have. In fact, our
I
library.
request everyone somebody pray.
Let's go, guys. Thank you very much.
So do students.
सर हाउ आर यू वी बेस्ट yesterday जब वहाँ गाना बजाना हो रहा था हुआ कि पिछली बार तो महफिल की शम्मा आप थे ये जरूर था कि माइक पकड़ लिया छोड़ ही नहीं रहे न्यू फेसेस
Okay, sir. Can we start moving? All of them were. We have the new wind tunnel there also. Old has been demolished. It's a national wind tunnel facility.
All planes are gliders. All planes are gliders, but all the gliders are not planes.
At least no other idea has been. So we can call for agency, for example, medical agencies or anything. The institute actually helps us get those one helicopter. The helicopter can take us to this Lucknow airport, Amausi airport, and from there we can. There has only been one case, which I have seen, but it was used.
How many times in a year this is
But
service?
for alumni who are coming back, the politicians
They can use the helicopter service to directly land here. That is a system that has been established.
politicians आते हैं.
हाँ सर लोग जब आते हैं तब यहीं पर आते हैं ये मिनिस्टर.
Breeze and you should have strong thermals.
So how do
That's why they
We'll arrange a vehicle.
So
We'll
you can
arrange
see
a
the
vehicle in
wind
the
shot,
evening
so
for all those who are interested.
Can't keep
We can
it up.
arrange something at around 4 o'clock.
Like a bus.
6 to 7. Basic message. 6 to 7.
आपने कभी किया?
For a person, for example, I eat non-veg, so it is around 25.
Double over.
Still have free rides. There are many courses in which. Okay. So this happens.
आप मुझे 10 point
इलेक्ट्रिकल
So मैं अपनी CPI reveal नहीं करूँगा. It will be a very big problem.
रूम में रखूंगा.
So
I also was like that. But probably for a different reason than your reason.
But we knew, everybody knew about yours. Even without revealing.
okay. So we were actually waiting for this center to.
going on. अब 3 बार बोल देना बोल.
खाली ले जाओ तो मेरी नाक के नीचे से उनको दे नहीं रहे.
थोड़ी जरा नहीं करेंगे.
Front row people. Where we want to coordinate within the group. It's all in the
We decided we'll buy the Shatabdi ticket in an event.
They do a good job. Financial integrity is maintained. Yeah, that's the only thing that's the
In fact, after I saw you for the first time I came here, I saw a look alike. What your part? Getting it. सर आप आइए अंदर वाला शिवलिंग दिखाते हैं
भाई यहाँ आकर के मेंटल नॉर्मल का खींच दिया और एंड में जाके पड़ गया। अरे जिंदगी में तो सपने में नहीं सोचा हमेशा तो ये होता रहता जो वो संभाला है जब से भाई कभी देखे ही नहीं।
भैया एक मिक्सी दे देना जरा।
मैं तो कल भी अर्ली मॉर्निंग आई एम ड्राइविंग गाजियाबाद से खुद नहीं अच्छा ड्राइवर है कार ड्राइवर टैक्सी है मतलब मैं और हमारे वो फ्रेंड सुनील सवार मैंने कभी गाड़ी आगे रहेगी पहले
हाँ बड़ा ही है। हाँ सीमेंट वाले भी। ठीक है तो मुझे एक संतरा और एक शरीफा।
लेफ्ट चले जाएं अब तो फ्लाईओवर बन गया
रोटरी इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन
सोना रोड है
What I'm telling you about is how Pfizer really reached out to me. I'm sorry, but Novartis doesn't. Because though I did not, it's not that I did not approach, but the same letter, the letter, it's a different story.
No, it's very important.
Femara didn't suit me. That's a different story.
No, but some of the older don't have the
Yeah, okay, they do.
which is known as hypertension.
अगर आप चल के 200 मीटर चल के जाके लोगे तो मम्मी के पास मम्मी का बदल
So, good afternoon, everyone. We'll start the felicitation. First, I'd like to ask Mr. Adarsh Saigal to come forward. Yeah. So, I'd be announcing the names, and I'd like one by one everybody to come, and the director sir will be felicitating.
I think what they haven't mentioned is that this is the way the Alumni Association wants to say thank you for your coming.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Adarsh Saigal.
That's me.
Mr. Ajit Vishwanath. Mr. Akhilesh Rai. Mr. Anil Kumar Bindal. Mr. Anil Kumar Jha. Mr. Anil Kumar Agarwal.
I think you should call out by roll number, not the name. Those guys who don't remember the roll number don't deserve it.
Yes. 65024, Mr. Anil Kumar Singh. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Director Sir, and the IIT people who have organized and hosted, and the young boys and young girls who have taken us around. We are very, very happy to be here after 45 years of living this place, 50 years after joining the IIT. I never knew I would be coming to IIT. I was actually going to Banaras. So somebody told, no, go to IIT Kanpur. It's American funded and it's a very good university. It's going to come up the best in the country. Well, it turned out to be the best, and that time a lot of people did not know about IIT. When we graduated, we got the best of the jobs, we got the best of the positions. We were recognized in the industry, we were recognized in the society, we were recognized socially in the families. I think IIT has given us a lot. As far as money is concerned, well, we got a lot of money in terms of whatever we learned in IIT. I would put it, sorry to say sir, I put my engineering side one side. I did not use my engineering side at all. I used my common sense. And IIT taught us how to use your brains, how to do research, how to analyze, how to solve a problem. That is why the top people in this country are run by IIT. Like ICICI Bank chairman, he is now the chairman of the international banks, Mr. Kamath. So, Mr. Banga, HLL, we have Ranjit here, Narayan Murthy. Well, he actually applied software, but I'm saying the people who are, yeah, I said Ranjit, people who are not associated with the engineering side, what IIT taught us, what our great teachers taught us, was the greatness that you analyze, you study, you should understand what is a problem and how to solve it. And another thing which IIT taught us, before we joined IIT, I mean, while we were studying in IIT, was that whether you like it or not, you have to get your grades. You have to pass. And if you have to pass, you have to study. And if you have to study, you have to look at your books, you have to do your assignments, you may have to copy, you may have to go to the library, you may have to do any damn thing but study. So the hard work, the sincerity which we were taught in IIT was also a very big boon to us. And I got married to a family which was run by newspapers, which were running newspapers. I did not know anything about the newspapers. My father-in-law put me into that during the emergency. I had to deal with very senior politicians, the Prime Minister, the CEO of the country, that time Sanjay Gandhi, and many chief ministers. Well, I could face it because we got the basic intuition how to handle a problem. Now, if IIT is in a problem, we have to solve that problem. We are the old alumni of IIT. We should all stand up, join hands with the management of IIT and come with solutions. I think we should have a partnership with IIT in such way. That's all I want to communicate. Thank you.
65024.
Yes. 65025, Mr. Anup Krishna Mathur.
I think you tell your CPI also. That's not speed it up.
65026, Mr. Anup Swaroop.
हाँ
65037 Mr. Ashim Angle.
Very good.
65050 Mr. Ashok Kumar Singh.
We just need to figure out how to do it.
Very funny.
Not there.
65052 Mr. Ashok Kumar Tandon. 65058 Mr. Atambir Singh Rao. 65059 Mr. Atul Kumar Jay. 65062 Mr. Avinash Giri. 65067 Mr. Bijendranath Jain. 65073 Mr. Chandra Mohan Puri. 65074 Mr. Chandrasekhar. 65085 Mr. Dhaval Balkrishna Moge. 65090 Mr. Girish Singh Gaur. 65093 Mr. Gopal Singh. 65105 Mr. Ishq Sood. 65127 Mr. Krishna Mohan Pant. 65140 Mr. Mahesh Anand. 65145 Mr. Munishwar Bajaj. 65147 Mr. Narendra Kumar Ambani. 65154 Mr. Peter.
Peter Menezes.
65158 Mr. Pradeep Kumar. 65161 Mr. Pradeep Kumar Mittal. 65164 Mr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma.
It was lovely to be here. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
65169 Mr. Pramod Kumar Kail. 65172 Mr. Prem Narayan Kapoor. 65187 Mr. Rajiv Gupta.
Lovely smile.
65188 Mr. Rajiv Sahai. 65196 Mr. Ramesh Chandra Rastogi. 65202 Mr. Ranjit Shani.
ये रंजीत.
Pleasure to meet you.
Right. 65202 Mr. Ranjit Sani. 65225 Mr. Simon Matthew. 65226 Mr. Sowan Roy. 65237 Mr. Sudhin Mohan Mittal.
We'll be there with you.
65240 Mr. Sunil Kumar Sabharwal. 65246 Mr. Surojit Sen. 65267 Mr. Vijay Kumar Kaul.
Ball boy.
Thank you very much.
65274 Mr. Vinay Mehta.
Yay, Modu! Modu, ready.
65286, Mr. Brajesh Lal.
Thank you.
67411, Mr. Ram Mohan Pidakla.
Last and fast, I know.
65125, Mr. Krishna Chandra Mishra. 65194, Mr. Ramesh Chandra Batra. 65107, Mr. J. Sen Gupta. 65122, Mr. Kiran Kumar Jagati.
On. That's taken by me.
65252, Mr. Tejendra Singh. 65275, Mr. Vinay Aditya. 65199, Mr. R.N. Trivedi. 65096, Mr. Harbakshish Singh. Harbakshish.
Director sir, friends and students, it's a great pleasure to see all of you here. When the Alumni Association started, we were working with one part-time Babu from graphic section who would store the data in one computer because only computer time, very little computer time was available with us that time. The president and secretaries, honorary secretaries of the institutes, Dr. Bansal, Dr. J.P. Gupta, Dr. S.V. Mehrotra, and many more, and president like Vishnu Agarwal, Dr. R.N. Trivedi, Dr. Anil Kumar, and many more former later presidents. And because of their efforts, we finally started a batch get-togethers which was very successful and are going to be successful events. And for IIT and all for my friends, I have to say only two lines. न ये चांद होगा न तारे रहेंगे मगर हम हमेशा तुम्हारे रहेंगे.
We have completed the list. Yeah, so I think someone did not come. So if somebody is left, they can come. Jagat.
Well, if there's a popular demand, I certainly would approve that.
There is one announcement. Alumni whose spouses could not come, their gifts are in the control room. Immediately after this program gets over, you people will be moving over with for the interaction with the students.
Where is that?
In the visitors hostel.
Ragging is not permitted.
Sir, hi, everyone. I invite you all to come have a visit to the PBCEC conference room. We'll be waiting there to interact with you and to know more about you and to tell you more about the present student life to all of you. So, please.
Do you work as hard as we did? Do you work as hard as we did?
Sir, that after the interaction, let us decide.
Harder. You work harder than them.
Sir, when we were showing them around the campus, we just showed from outside.
Thank you very much. It was really very nice.
Thank you everyone for coming here.